Hello, everybody, and welcome to a live episode of Court of Swords. Not just a live episode, the 100th episode. I'm so freaking excited.
Hell yeah, dude.
I am joined, as always, by the cast. I'm going to let them, in case we have some new viewers, I'm going to let them introduce themselves and their characters. And we're going to start over on my right with Zeke and Max. Zeke, tell us about your shit.
Absolutely, I'd love to.
Not your shit, but, you know.
Yeah, not your. Yeah.
That's for later.
That's
post-show.
Well, then I have less to say.
Yeah, yeah.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Ezekiel III, or Zeke, whatever. I'm playing a character called, his name is Yotazo. He is a 10th level drunken master monk that carries around a big wine teru, just a big old wine jug, the 12-pounder, that he drinks out of, but also uses as a weapon. He has a very deliberate way of speaking. He is like someone compared it to like kind of like a Tom Waits homage or whatever.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's a fair way to say how he speaks,
Sure.
and stuff like that. But I've been playing him. He's a fairly new character. I'm still getting used to all the monk stuff that comes with it, like all the abilities and stuff. Since I didn't like grow up with him, or he didn't grow up with me. But I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
And now you don't have any of your macros to help you with your...
I don't.
That's right.
It's all going to be dice. It's all just going to be like trying to remember.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about before. It's like, oh, God. Especially for Berg.
I was going to say, so yeah, sitting next to Zeke is Max, who's playing Berg.
I'm playing Berg, who's a half-orc barbarian that has gone through many different stages of life. And he is the longest running Court of Swords member from... We pinned it down to like 29, 30, something like that.
Episode 11.
Episode 11.
11?
Yeah.
11.
Since episode 11, and here we are at 100. He's led a crazy life. He's lost his life, come back, and yeah, he's Berg. He's stupid. He's giant dumb orc that everybody loves and has a soft side sometimes. He feels everything. No, it's crazy to be at episode 111.
Yeah, 89 episodes of Berg.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
that's a lot of.
I think, so as a contrast, on my left, I have Dan and JP, but as a contrast, JP, I think you've played the most characters.
Yeah, I think it's... I don't know the actual range. But this time around, I'm playing a character by the name of Maharib. He's been with us since episode 93. I joined when Zeke's new character did. I'm a Goliath fighter, level 11. This is the 11 side. That's the 10 side character level-wise. For whatever reason. And yeah, I have 20 strength and 20 con and kind of overpowered in some sense until you get away from me. And then I'm just kind of like, come back here, get closer, let me hit you. And that's how it's going. So yeah, I'm also the player with the most ones over the course of 100 episodes. Yeah. So I hope I don't live up to my status today. It would be great if I didn't roll once.
Yeah. And then last but not least, everybody's favorite, Soulless Husk. It's DansGaming.
Yeah. I'm DansGaming. I'm playing Ramus, a light cleric who's lost his soul thanks to the meddling of the gods, and he's trying to stop himself from fading away and then seek vengeance on heaven itself for playing with his life like that. So we'll see if he accomplishes his goal or not.
We'll see.
Ramus has some convoluted religious beliefs right now where it's like, I just want power, and anybody who will give it to me, but they have to let me do what I want. Yeah, I'm excited. So this episode is particularly important for me, and like this last arc, because it's bringing us back to the beginning. This is the first kind of time that we've been back to the eponymous Court of Swords. It's a location in the world, and we're going to be seeing the ramifications of some of the things that happened in the very first few episodes. I'm really looking forward to getting a chance to kind of shout back to some of that stuff, bring us all back to the jungle, and explore the monster. Yeah. So we've run this game over. There's been I think like 30 plus characters. Our cast has had like a dozen people playing these characters. We've spanned over the course of the whole campaign 10,000 years of time because the primordial arc was way back. But the last time that we were in the Court of Swords was over a decade ago in campaign. So things have changed somewhat since the last time we were here. Now, normally at the beginning of the show, we would do goals so that everybody can get XP. We have an alternate version of the experience system for D&D where the players set goals for their characters. And if they achieve or work towards those goals in a session, then they get XP. It's Max's favorite part of the game.
I love that part. It's
He
my
loves the
favorite.
goals.
Yep.
But before we do that, we're playing in a live environment. We're using real dice. We have physical objects to move around. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about how that's going to be different than the way that we normally play, because the dice are important. So when we roll the dice, our lovely producer, Sir Scoots, has created. We've got an overhead. We've got some dice close-up cams. We're going to be rolling into the trays here. We're going to try to leave the dice long enough that you can... Mother of God!
Oh, yes! First live roll!
So there you go. I rolled a
Loving
1.
it.
So
First one.
we'll try to leave him in the tray for you so you can get eyes on. If you're just listening to this, we'll try to save the dice that we get. Give us a little extra time because there's going to be like I roll 2d6 plus 2d10 and then we got to add 4.
Yeah.
We're terrible
Yeah.
at math, so we're going to need some time to work that out. But
Especially me. It's
we'll
gonna
warm
be
it up.
really-
There's a reason I was looking over at you.
Yep.
Yep.
So for rolling though, because we got to talk about this, what counts as a cocked die? So if it rolls out of the tray, doesn't count. Like if you roll in
Right.
and it bounces out and you get a 20, I don't care. Roll it again.
Okay.
It's got to be in the tray. These trays are pretty good at not having like the dice tipped up against stuff, but it
Yeah.
has to be sitting flat in the tray
Okay.
to count.
Flat on the side.
Yeah, and if you're rolling more than one die at a time, like say you're rolling damage and your attack, if you roll a d20 and then you roll the 6s in and they knock the 20 like that's it. It's a 17, not a 10. So try to roll everything all at once if you're going to, and if you're going to roll one die at a time, take the die out and then roll the next one.
Yeah.
So that because we want to have whatever's laying here, everybody can see it. That's the
Right.
result.
That's the.
Okay.
Yeah. So try to roll like your d20, then all your damage at once, rather
And
than
it-
just like
If you're rolling like lots of d6s, a dice on top of a dice. If that
just
ever
pick it up
happens.
and roll it back in again.
Okay.
And then anything it knocks that'll
Okay.
count. Yeah. If you manage to stack dice in a roll, that's
What if I
actually really
spill
good.
something
great.
and it hits the dice and then it kind of like floats and then
Right.
Okay.
It needs to be sitting on the tray with the number up, and then
I want it to feel like a real D&D session, so I'm going to ask nerd questions like that. Just terrible, awful, like
I hope that
needly
does
questions.
happen. That'd be
Yeah.
a really rare moment. I feel like you just have it just on top of it. I've
And
never
if,
seen that.
you know
happen.
what? And if your dice misbehave,
Yep.
people who've watched the live show before, watch out, misbehaving
Just
dice.
be careful because we got a bigger TV in front
You
of
know
us this
what?
time. So
You know what? You do your job. I'll
I'm
do
just
mine.
saying. Don't,
I feel like it would be.
I'm gonna
that
huck
way,
it out the
you know.
door, yeah.
But
Just
out the
it'll go
door,
right
and
out
then
the
that way
door.
that camera can
man,
catch it.
I just
probably.
it's gonna hit that camera. It's going straight towards the.
I'll throw it
It's
at
gonna
the, I'll throw it at the
fracture
back. I'll throw it
lens.
at the back wall. It'll just
Okay,
bounce. It'll
yeah.
be fine. We'll be all right.
There we go. That's why those are not for soundproofing.
That's right.
That's just so you can chuck dice at the wall.
dice catch, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Cool. All right. Well, let's do goals now. Since it's an extra long episode, we're gonna be doing 2-hour chunks. So we'll do 2 hours of play, take a break, 2 hours, take a longer break, and then repeat to the end of the episode. And we're gonna do goals now, and then we're gonna check them for XP at the end of the sort of second act. So before we go into our big break.
Yeah.
And then when we come back, we'll write new goals for the second half, so that you guys don't like have anemic XP value, given that we're playing essentially 2 back-to-back episodes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we're going to start by setting goals. So each of the players will give me 3 things that they want to accomplish during the session, and if they get that, they'll get an amount of XP based on how difficult that goal was to accomplish. But if they work towards it but don't accomplish it, they'll still get an amount of XP. So that way we can keep kind of pushing towards specific stuff. We usually start with Ramus, so let's do that. What do you want to do? Dan? What are your goals?
My goals will be find out what happened to the landscape. Everything seems abandoned and messed up.
Okay.
Get everyone to the Temple of the Sun alive.
Okay.
Okay.
And then find a clue that will lead me to the cult of Emix.
Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, so these are similar to the ones that you had before. All right. So you're looking for the Embers of Imix because, well, lots of complicated reasons. That's why we have 100 episodes. But
Yeah.
because they you think that they're going to be able to help you with your soul problem.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Or at least help me until I can recover my soul.
Yes. Yeah. Because you're falling apart.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Let's do Maharib's goal. We'll go around.
Cool.
So what do you want to do for yours?
So I had 2 left over and kind
Yeah.
of changed them just like Dan did a little bit. So first one, instead of just protecting Yota, it's protect your comrades at all costs. Because we're now a unit moving through the swamp, so we're going to protect everyone. at all
Okay.
costs.
So what does that look like? Like,
It
how are you
means
gonna?
I will be throwing myself in front of damage, in front
Okay.
of rolls, and
Okay.
yeah. and all
Now,
that stuff.
there's no real way to protect them forever. So this
Forever.
is one where you're just gonna work on it every time.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens after the first
Okay.
session, the first
So
4
it's
hours.
expanded out.
Yeah.
to-
Because it's kind of like, for the other goal was save and protect Yotozo. That's kind of something that goes forever as well. So.
Okay.
Yep. Second one, in line with him, find the trail of the embers of Mimics.
Okay.
So find a clue, find the trail, same thing, basically.
Yeah. So you're both looking for a start to kind of like
Yep.
get in with those guys.
And then the third and final one would be reach the Temple of the Sun.
Okay. All right. So reach the monastery.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. Let's do Max next. So Berg, what do you want to do for Berg's goals today?
I'm pretty sure most of his goals that he has already kind of stick. The only one that I'm thinking of maybe swapping out is Speak with Agni again. That could pop up, or I could switch that to like what he's saying, hook up with the Embers of Mimics.
Yeah.
That seems like it might be a little bit wiser because that's kind of what we're focused in. Whether or not we actually speak to Agni is probably kind of up in the air. I don't know.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna switch my number two goal from Speak with Agni again to help facilitate or find the trail of the Embers of Mimics.
Okay.
Find a foothold there or starting point.
Yeah.
And then the first one is help Yota and Maharib, everybody get to the Temple of the Sun.
Yep.
And then our one that's been marinating for a long time.
That's right.
Help the good old boy Ramus with his ailment. So
Yeah.
help him find a soul.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, it seems like for the most part everybody is very like focused on doing a similar thing, which is good. It means everybody will get XP. The three will get XP at the same time.
Cool.
Yotazo, you have personal reasons for visiting the monastery as well. What do you want to make your goals?
I want to make my goals are arrive at the monastery of the sun.
Okay.
Which is whatever. Then learn the fate of my family.
Yep.
Or rejoin them, whichever one.
I think learn the fate, and then you could always be like adapt that for the second.
Yep,
Yeah, the
yep.
second goal. Okay.
And then my new goal is show the party that strength can be found in sources other than muscle and combat.
Nice. I like that. Okay.
Cool.
Right, because you're surrounded by fighty boys. Okay.
That's us, the Fighty Boys.
Yeah, two
Not to
fighty
mention-
boys and
You
a
got the Hardy Boys, and then you got the Fighty,
Fighty
Boys.
Boys, yeah.
corpse just
We
dragging
were best known
itself
for
along.
kicking the shit out of the Hardy Boys.
Exactly.
Fighty boys, they don't mean a thing.
It's the Fighty Boys, and then the Hardy Boys come after to investigate what happened.
Wasn't the Fighty Boys that thing where they would like prank call people? I think that was that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's accurate. That's accurate.
All right. So when last we left the party, you had left the sunken, abandoned, destroyed moon temple, slogged your way across several days of exhausting swamp terrain, fought off some manticores, and then
Yep.
made your way to the edge of the jungle. And then a few days into the jungle, on your way to the Monastery of the Sun, you came upon first some desecrated statuary.
That still stand today.
Yes. Yeah. Do you want to talk about that? Because
Yeah, I was gonna say,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Little note.
At the last, describe what it was.
So the statue was, there is a I don't even know what you would call it, but like a series of
Effigy?
columns. Well, there were columns on either side, and it's like a long sort of peaceful walkway that would have been in a like a garden or like a cleared like public area in the traveling on the road between the Moon Temple in the valley and the Sun Temple slightly higher up. And so you're traveling this now long overgrown road, and there are statues along either side showing like bodhisattvas of the various faiths and like local figures and stuff like that, like figures of reverence. But they had been desecrated or destroyed either by time or in this case by some ill force. So the
Right.
statue was a praying monk who had had the head of the statue knocked off and replaced by a small tower of impaled human skulls.
Yeah.
And yeah, we paused a moment to observe this statue.
So I made the stupid decision that, I'll just smash that with my flail. That's been retconned, never happened. Didn't happen. That's not a thing that occurred. It just passed by.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you missed this conversation last night. We were just like, what? What was that? I was like, I have no idea. I don't know why
when
I
you
did
did
that.
it, I had the same reaction. I didn't say anything, like
Yeah.
in character as player, and me and Dan were saying it last night. Like, I had that thought of like, why did you do that?
Yeah. So it's stupid.
I
It
thought
didn't
maybe
happen.
it was like
Yeah.
some sort of goal that Maharib had secretly to kind of like be like, hey Ramus, let's bond,
Because your
or like
character
I'm with you.
never really shows much emotion.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
chill all the time.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was just some like secret thread that you had that you were pulling on as like a hint I was like, one of those could be the
Nope.
case. In either
So are you
case, I don't
serious?
know.
Like you seriously?
It did
retconned
not
it?
happen. Yeah.
Didn't
Okay,
happen.
okay, okay.
Yeah. So Jamie, it's
It
I
was
gonna say,
just
it's
a stupid thing where it's like, I'm going to smash it. I was like, why did I do
It's
that?
not inconsequential because obviously we're talking about it and we're going to adjust.
Right.
But it's like it's not. Nobody's life is on the line. Nobody like got a magic item or lost a magic item. Like nobody got any experience for it or whatever. So we're just going to say instead of that happening, we just moved on. The statue is still.
And now
standing.
you can't use that as like, well, they did hear you smash that statue that you
Right.
did. Can't do that.
Yeah, if you're sneaking through the.
Oh no! What's about to happen?
Right.
They'll hear
so
that. That's fine.
yeah. So at the end of, or not at the end of this road, but as you were getting ready to rest, there was a section of the road with a little like it used to be a hut or like a guard tower or something, and it had been knocked over. And in the rubble, there was a tied up, dead, formerly tortured soldier. With the word revenge written in blood on the wall, and then little what you assume to be kobold footprints around, and a trap hanging above, big bundle of stones, which the three of you scattered to hide, and then Maharib, who
And
knows
rolled
he can't hide.
successfully.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, they rolled really well. So like your stealth,
Right.
Yeah, we're pretty stealthy.
Yeah,
Like, all
I
the
gotta
rolled
find it
very
because
well.
there's like
That's
a
pretty good.
million. There's like a million
Test rolls and
Test
stuff,
rolls.
yeah,
here.
right.
Here we go. 17, 21, 21. So like pretty
Pretty
sick.
nice.
Yeah.
Pretty sick moves. But Maharib is just standing out in the open.
Yeah, because I poked it with my sword.
Yeah, you cut the so the
Oh,
the
that's
way-
what it was.
The way
That's
the
what
trap
it was,
was is that the soldier was like leaning forward as a counterweight, and his wrists were tied to the rope, which was tied to a tree. And if you like pick him up, the rope would snap, and the ropes in
Right.
the
Stones
stones
or
would just
whatever,
fall
yeah,
on your head. So you just cut the rope, and they just
7
fell.
foot sword cut the rope, and I just stood there.
Yeah, and they crashed down.
Yeah.
So the three of you are hidden in the bushes. It is. It's like shadowy. It's hard to tell what time of day it is when you're under the jungle like canopy. So all of the area around here is like dappled with light coming through from above down onto the ground. The three of you are hidden in the bushes. Maharib is standing out in the open. There's a big pile of stones, and like the dust hasn't even really settled before the bushes ahead of you have begun to like shake. Something is coming. You can hear it in the bushes. So was there anything you wanted to do before whatever it is like makes itself known, or are you just standing there like ready to?
If you'll allow it, I'll take the dodge action.
Right. So you're standing like defensively
Just
in
to be-
case.
be
Yeah, of
prepped.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
Because
yeah.
you're setting. It's an ambush and you're the bait. So of
Yeah.
course you would want to be like ready to defend yourself.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I take the dodge action.
All right. So if anything attacks you, you will. I mean, everybody would get to roll initiative, and you would get disadvantage to attack you on the first one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So you ready yourself, right? You steel yourself, and I think that like Yota particularly, while this is happening, while like in these moments, you recall the night before and like the cracking of the wood and the trees, this like ominous force somewhere in the jungle,
Yep,
and you've been traveling closer and closer to it as you go. So your mind recalls that sense of like something's out there,
Right.
and the trees and brush like rattle and shake, and then out in front of you into the clearing bursts a creature, and it's about this big. It's about that big.
You didn't say kobold.
It's running on 4 legs. It is sort of pinkish gray. It looks a bit like a pig, but it has big like bat ears and a little like snout with little like sharp teeth. He's got like glowing, like slightly glowing like reddish eyes. And a little tail sticking out the back of him. And
it a coiled tail?
at the end of his just like a little, just a little guy, little stubby tail. And his arms, at the end, his front arms, they have not proper thumbs. He's got like 2 fingers and then like kind of side little thumbs. So you might be able to grab something. And he just comes like scampering out of the bushes and looks up at you. And he's like tiny, right? He's just like a little football. And he looks up at you and kind of like bares his teeth and growls.
Can I make a perception check to see if anything else is coming through the forest?
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm not necessarily threatened by this.
Oh yeah. Also, when he gets closer, when he like runs out, you can see what looks like at first what looked like just like a pattern or something on his back. He actually has wings. He has little like pink gray bat wings, and they're folded up on his back.
Oh, we can all see this.
You can all see it.
We're
Yeah.
in the bushes.
What?
peeking.
Check and see if I know like what it is.
Okay, you can make a nature check. You make a perception check.
Is it nature?
It'd be nature. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
All
the
right.
thing is,
I wasn't sure if it was like
We'll
a magically like a
we'll
homunculus or
we'll
whatever.
start with nature,
Okay.
and then if it ends up being something else, you'll know that
Okay,
with
cool.
the nature roll. Cool.
Gotcha.
So I'm not
Let me
actually
roll
sure
first.
Oh yeah, you go
Yeah.
first. You go first.
Yeah.
Focus.
21. 21.
Focus, Scott.
Yeah.
I know. I'm doing it on purpose because I know he hates it.
Yeah.
Oh God, what is it?
Whoa.
I mean, we can.
21. Yeah.
So it's you got a 18, and then you have your
Plus 3
Your
for
plus 3.
perception.
Okay, so 21. No, the and actually with the 21, all you can hear is like your friends breathing? And like rustling slightly because the 21 is what they got, right? So
Okay.
yeah, and there's just this little thing, and it's like looking up at you like and like growling, and otherwise you
It's
just
a
hear.
bold, peculiar little.
You
thing.
hear like birds and insects and stuff, jungle noise,
Okay.
but
All right.
it
Make
doesn't
your,
appear to be
your
followed.
nature
yeah.
check.
Okay, I'll make my nature check.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell this thing is.
You got to warm up. You got to warm up the die.
Got to warm it up. I'm warming it up. Yeah. Boom. That's an 8 because I have a minus
Okay.
1.
Okay. Yeah, you have no idea what the hell this little winged little pig koala is.
I would roll too, but
Hairless pig koala.
you rolled a 21 and it still wasn't enough.
Mine was a perception check.
Oh, perception.
His was
Well,
a
so
nature
if
check.
then
Nature.
if you guys want to have been doing that, we can treat it like giving them advantage, right? So you can roll too.
I guess the best thing would be nature, right?
It depends on what you're doing. Are you trying to recognize the little beast, or are you like on the lookout for danger? You're trying to sense danger.
I think I probably want to sense danger. if I
Okay,
could
so
do that.
just make a
Some sort of
perception.
danger sense.
Some
really.
kind of dangerousness detection.
Eh,
Do it.
That's a 2.
It's a 2. Good.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, you
What's a
sense
4, but-
no peril whatsoever. What do you do?
Can I make a religion check to see if it's some sort of demonic creature?
You can make a religion check, and I will tell you what you might know based on the results of that check. Yeah.
All right.
Kit. Sorry.
That's on him.
That is on him.
Yeah, that was.
There you go.
There it is.
Oh, it was blocked. Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay,
What
so
did
you
got
got
a
5.
So 10.
Okay, no, you have no idea what the hell this
Okay.
little fucker is.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you do? So he's growling at you. What is your response?
Growl back.
I mean, Maharib does have a way with animals, right? We had
does,
that whole
yeah.
situation with
Yeah,
dogs.
I think like I take the sword Bahath and like slam it into the ground and then reach into my bag and grab a ration.
Okay, so you slam your sword into the ground, and it kind of like jumps back a little bit, and like looks at you, and when you go reaching for something, it growls like almost like, I dare you, I fucking dare you. What do you got? What do you got back there? And it kind of like jumps at your feet a little bit, like it's still like a good 10 feet away from you.
Yeah.
And you reach behind you, and you pull out like some food.
Yeah.
And what are you gonna do?
I don't try to hand feed it. I just toss it to the ground.
Throw it on the ground?
Yeah, throw it
Okay.
on the ground.
All right. So it scampers forward a little bit and leans in and like sniffs at the food with its little like pig nose, and then looks up at you and kind of like just tosses its head like, I don't want this, fuck you, and like walks in a little circle and then just
Wow.
like ignores it. But it's not growling at you anymore. It's just being very disdainful of your ration.
I don't really have.
It starts
Can
now
I
that-
want to look at its feet and see if that's what's made the tracks.
No, definitely not. Because the tracks are like 3, 4 claws, which is
Yeah.
confusing. But front claws and then a back, like a hooked back claw. They look like more like bird or lizard footprints. This thing has almost like sort of weird, like baby hands. Like it's like got chubby arms, and then its little hands are like smooshy and pink, and it's got 2 big fingers and like a chubby thumb. Doesn't have nails, but like it makes big flat like squidgy footprints.
This thing in my head looks so weird.
Yeah.
Is this where we get a pet for the group?
So it's listen. I mean,
I
100
throw out
episodes
my
in,
Pokeball and see what happens.
the best way to reinvigorate a show is to throw in an animal or a child
Right.
character. Yeah, this is your Orko. So, the creature. It's lost interest in you. It's just like, oh, I'm not scared of you. You're not gonna hurt me. And it starts sniffing around the bushes, and you can see it's kind of like looking if there's anybody else around.
Okay. I think I'll just not turn my head, but I just kind of state to the rest of the group and just, I don't sense anything else. I believe this is all that's here. I don't think it set the trap, however. Look at it. I couldn't do that. And I just kind of sit there and wait.
When you say that, it looks at you like kind of indignantly.
Do I think it's understanding me?
Make an insight check.
Okay. So that's a -1. All right. This should go well with that -1.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. That's a 2.
Oh,
Give
you
a
got
big
a
old
negative,
2.
Maybe it does. You don't know. You can't tell.
I guess I just look at it and say, "Do you understand me?"
It like sits back, like it kind of sits down on its butt, so it's like sitting kind of up, and it goes like this, and like wiggles its mouth and like flops its arms around.
Is the ration still there on the ground?
Yeah.
I guess I like pick it up and throw it closer to him.
Okay.
Or no, not throw it. I'll pick it up,
Uh-huh.
split it in half, and put half in my mouth.
Okay.
And like eat it. And then put the other half.
makes a face like it's just lost some respect for you.
What the fuck?
It just is like, ew, why would you eat that?
You eat that?
Yeah, right. Yeah. And then it rolls back over, and it's very like it's ungainly, right? So it kind of like it doesn't sit back up. It sort of falls down and then rolls onto its side, and then picks itself up and like trots over to the bushes and is like sniffing around looking for you guys.
So are you saying that nature check that I did like negated me making further checks about this thing?
No, it's just you don't know what kind of creature it is. You don't have the ability to answer that, right?
Okay.
Like the nature check would preclude knowing whether or not you could make an Arcana check, right?
Oh, okay.
So
Now-
it's like, what sort of thing is
Now that
this?
it's closer to the bushes, would it stand to reason that I could roll a nature check now to get it?
Yeah,
now that I have
if
a
you're
better
like
look
peering
at it.
Yeah. Let me roll first. It's gonna try to find you.
Sure.
So it's like digging around. All right, let's see. Okay. It got an
that's
18,
pretty good.
which is good, but not enough.
Not good enough, right?
Yeah, it doesn't find you. I guess Yota, you were the one that had 17, right?
No, we both had 21.
21s. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it walks over to the bush where you are, sniffs around a little bit, figures there probably isn't anybody over there, and then it seems to be like. It makes like a face and like turns and looks right at the bush where Ramus is, and it looks at you like, did you poop in that bush or like what? Like it looks at you and then looks at the bush and then looks at you again like.
Do I think it's found Ramus or?
Oh, I mean, yeah, definitely. Like we see
Found something,
our
yeah.
view as the audience of the bush is like Ramus's eyes like peering through the thing, and it just looks at the bush,
Okay.
and then it starts walking over to it to be like, what is that gross smell?
Yeah, I think I just say out loud like, Ramus, it knows you're there.
I'm not paying attention to it. I'm looking at the around us to see if all this noise is drawing things to us.
Yeah.
If it's going like directly towards Ramus, how far away am I from it?
I figure
What'd you say?
I figure you're all within 20 feet, give or take. Like this is a pretty close encounter.
Okay.
It's a
If like I want to like I don't know if I can ready an action to like pounce on it or like because I don't want it to sniff him out, make a yell or give a signal or anything or to run away.
Right.
I want to be able to grab it.
Okay,
before it
sure.
gets
So
away.
you're crouched down. You easily have the reflexes for this, right?
Yeah.
You're like crouched down, which is great because you're like a huge elephant man.
Yeah.
Like ready in the bush, trunk coiled to
Yep.
like throw yourself on this thing
Yep.
and like wrestle it.
Yep.
Okay, good.
In case I don't want to give alarm or let it get away.
Yeah. Yeah,
If,
yeah.
If it bolts. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And it's trotting over to where Ramus is, and yeah. Do you want to do anything, or do you just like you're just not paying attention, right?
Just ignoring it.
All right. So you can make a perception check because you're peering at everything else.
Okay.
And the,
Yeah.
the trap went off.
Yeah.
right?
There's a big pile of stones. Yeah.
Okay.
23.
Nice. Okay.
Gotta love that meaty sound it makes.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say that. Funny.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
Wait until he casts harm.
No shit.
So you can say with fairly like decent certainty you can confirm what Maharib suspected is that you're alone. If there is something like watching you or watching the situation, it's not happening nearby.
Okay.
So the thing comes over, and while Ramus is like peering around the jungle and like listening, it comes over and you see it put its head into the bush, and then it starts pulling like a puppy on Ramus's like cloak, and so there's the end of Ramus's like robes, and he's got it in his mouth, and he's like pulling it out of the bush, and trying to pull Ramus out of the bushes. He's like growling, like yanking on it. So you feel this like pull on your clothes, and you look down, and this little pig bat boy thing is like pulling on your cloak.
Go on, get out of here.
I say to it, This is your only warning. Leave.
Make an intimidation check.
Okay.
What is that? 12 plus?
11.
11. Okay. I'll roll to see if it's intimidate. I'm just gonna roll a flat d20.
All right.
It is. Okay. So I got an 8. I guess, and it's yeah. You're like, this is your only one, and it like, and the rope just falls out of its mouth, and it just kind of like backs away slowly, like looking at you like, okay, all right, and looks at you like there's a crazy person in those bushes.
Yeah. Since it's found Ramus, I'll just talk to Ramus directly now.
Yeah.
I just say to Ramus, do you believe this creature would have a caretaker? Have you seen this before?
I have no idea what it is. Looks like a wild creature.
I'm going to emerge from from hiding, and I'm going to walk slowly to the thing and try and sniff on it, like with my trunk.
Yeah. Okay. So you're trying to like, are you trying to sneak up on it?
No.
Okay.
Just
all right.
calmly.
So you come out of the bushes, and it hears the rustling, and it turns away from Ram and sees the two of you, and it like gets startled, falls backwards.
Two of you.
Oh yeah,
I've
okay,
done
you're still in the
nothing.
bushes. It
I'm
sees
still-
you come out of the bushes,
Yeah.
right? It's not like you're hiding next to each other. And it turns and it falls backwards, and surprisingly, its wings like flap out, and it like beats them a couple of times, and it falls over on its back, and then it like rolls around trying to get itself righted. So it's just laying on its back, like kicking its legs, like and making like grunting noises.
Yep.
Trying to
I'm
flip over.
gonna steady it like a dog on its back. I'm
Yeah.
gonna like keep it there with my trunk.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Make an animal handling roll.
Sure.
So you're just trying to keep it there, like on its back, like.
Yeah, keep it helpless so I can
Damn you.
sniff on it a little bit and see if it has any traces of something recognizable. All right, animal handling +3.
Oh shit! All right.
First 20.
I handled that animal.
So,
good.
so
Boom.
you
20.
reach over, and when you're doing this with your trunk.
Yep.
Okay, and as your trunk touches the soft pink flesh of its belly,
Yeah.
its eyes like roll back in its head,
Oh,
and its
no.
tongue, and its
Oh,
tongue
no.
falls, it just goes, "Bah," and it just like flops there, like
We literally
God,
just
now
found
it's mine.
a fantasy forest puppy.
it's just laying there, like, yeah,
Or it's
yeah, it's totally helpless. It's just like, it likes you the best now.
Awesome. Well, it's now can I smell it and see if there's any like
So you give it a sniff.
Give it a
So
sniff.
perception check with advantage.
Okay,
right?
perception with advantage.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
do you want to lend homeboy one of those dice?
What do you need?
Oh,
yeah.
advantage.
Do you know the D20?
A D20 because it's advantage.
It's advantage. Yeah.
All right. 13 plus
Sorry, my dice suck.
3, 16 total.
Yeah, Berg's dice, no help. Okay, what do you want to know? Like, just get the scent of it?
Does it have anything that smells familiar? Meaning, like where it come from? Like if it came from,
So you know,
the jungle or the mountains or something like that, or what it's associating with? Like, does it smell like a kobold or a goblin?
so
or whatever?
like everything around here, it has the sort of smell of the jungle on it, right? It's got like the smell of turned earth from its little paws going around in the dirt. It's got the smell of like leaves. A lot of this stuff, none of these guys would be able to perceive, right? Because you have this like animal like smell sense.
Right.
So you can smell that it's like, it's like been mucking around in the underbrush for a while. But under all of that, it has, you know that smell when like someone gives you a baby and they like, it has that like weird kind of baby smell? You smell that. Like human baby.
like a sourish milk kind of a
Like just like a weird powdery like baby smell.
Okay.
Yeah.
but it smells human.
It smells like a human baby.
That's terrifying.
This is like
Yeah, I just kind of look down at it as I'm rubbing it and smelling it at the same time. It's like, what are you? Where did you come from? And I kind of like get my nose and scoop under it.
Okay.
And kind of like heft it up onto my shoulder.
Okay.
And if it'll say like sit there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got a 20 on your animal handling, so it just like gets up on your, and it I think it grabs one of your big floppy ears and like
Okay.
pulls it around it and just like lies on your shoulder.
Okay. And I kind of just like look and talk to it on my shoulder. Do you have a name?
It doesn't. It just makes kind of like some animal noise, little squealing sound. But it doesn't seem to be trying to communicate anything to you.
So it's a little pig baby dog thing.
Bat
Baby
thing.
baby bat. Pig baby bat.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
It seemed like me, so I have no idea what this is.
It likes you now. That's a problem. It's going to follow us.
Perhaps, maybe this thing will prove useful at some point in the future. But I don't think it had anything to do with the trap. I think it just heard the noise.
I agree.
Perhaps those traps have been there for quite some time.
I think when he says that, I turn around and see if there's like any the stones fell.
Yeah.
That's what's. I kind of just like start tearing the stones away one by one and
They look
looking
like
at them and see
they're
how.
so they're the stones.
Do they look like they've been like they're just stones, or have these been carved?
So
for
these
this
are
purpose?
no, these are stones. And actually, you look, and we were talking before about how they like laid this soldier up against a partially collapsed wall. You
Yeah.
can see indentations in the mud around the wall where some of the wall fell, but then the bricks are missing, and they were loaded into a net. And so these are all mortar like bricks
Okay.
from this wall.
Is there anything to indicate that it would be of, besides the fact that it is a trap, but that it is anything but just like rudimentary rope, rocks, pulley system? Is there any mechanics to it?
Make an investigation check.
I guess is what I'm asking. Like any mechanisms or anything like that? Yeah. All right. Investigation is +1. Here we go. That's
Pretty good.
12? No, 18.
18.
18,
Nice.
yeah.
Okay. So the trap's pretty rudimentary. And honestly, like from what you know about kobolds, like this trap should be better. They either did it quickly or like sloppily, or someone that isn't a kobold did the trap. Because kobold traps are like almost always ornate in an they're unnecessarily baroque, right? They're like, you could just drop rocks on someone and kill them, but a kobold trap will like kick you in the shins so you fall down, and while you're holding your shins, then the rocks will fall on you, then the rocks will light on fire. Like
Yeah.
they go out of their way to make these ingenious traps. This is much more like a human trap or like something like that. It doesn't have the ornate weirdness that a kobold necessarily would.
Kobolds
Okay.
like do like Rube Goldberg
Yes,
kind
yeah,
of
They
stuff.
totally.
take pride in something. You know what I mean?
So I
That's
take
right.
that
They're
to,
craftspeople.
I'm like pulling rocks away and just studying it, and I turn back to the group and say, believe this trap was meant for that creature. Seems like someone was hungry. This is not made for man, but for beast.
Berg's still just in the bushes.
Berg refuses to come out. He's hiding.
I don't know, my friend. Are you tasty?
He shakes his head. He's just like, "Meow."
Oh, so you're not for eating then?
And he looks at you like, gross. You wouldn't want to do that.
Are you old?
He kind of shrugs, like, "Eh."
Ask him if he has a mother, someone to look after him.
You heard him. Do you have a mother?
He gives you a look that's like, I don't know, do you?
Sassy motherfucker.
Yeah. He looks over at you like, yeah.
Do you have a master?
And he doesn't say anything when you say that. He just kind of looks at you like, I'm going back to sleep. And like puts his head back down on your shoulder.
No, and I nudge him with my trunk. No.
You unflap your ear and he's like, oh, come on, give me my ear blanket.
Answer me. Do you have a master?
And you can see, make an insight check.
Okay. Insight is +7. Okay, here we go. 15.
Okay, so he kind of opens his mouth a little. He's like, he's either choking on something or he's trying to talk.
Okay.
And then, like, snaps his mouth shut and kind of looks at you like, "Stop asking me." So, by way of not being able to answer, that might be an answer in and of itself.
Sure. Would you like me to be your new master?
He just kind of squints at you like, "Ugh."
Very well, then. Are you happy being on my shoulder?
in way of response, he just like curls back up and is like, "Shut up! Stop talking to me. It's comfy up here."
Adam,
there's your answer.
I would like to look at the word revenge on the wall.
Yeah.
And see if I recognize the dialect or what kind of people would write it in
like
this way.
the script. Yeah, do
Yeah.
it.
Symbology or
Man, I
whatever.
love
Yeah.
this. I love Detective Ramus Krill. Like, well, you can tell by the stroke order.
7.
No.
Yeah, that's a big old 2 right there.
Yeah.
You get a +5.
It's a great,
Plus
it's a
five,
great
yeah.
thought. It's a great thought, but like, yeah, you can't. It's painted hastily and smeared so that it's like the lines are brighter and thicker at the top and then peter out at the end of. And like, it's not written obviously in English. It's written in like the character for revenge,
Right.
in the common tongue of the greater courts, like the human language. So no, you can't detect. If it was done with a finer implement, you could tell, but. No.
Because of the way that he answered, if he has a master or not, can I make a Arcana check on this creature to see if there's a spell cast on him?
You would need detect magic for something like that. Yeah.
Okay, then I guess with that knowledge, I ask Ramus to, Ramus, is there any way to determine if this creature is magical in nature or has a spell cast on him?
You just need to ask for me my mighty magics, and I will assist you.
I kind of like look at the other two. Ramus Krill, I ask for your mighty magics.
Oh, I shall cast a ritual to detect magic upon this creature for you.
So while
It's the
this
least
is
I can
happening-
do.
While this is happening, the little creature is like nudged you and is like he's like doing an impression of Mahari where he's like, and then he does an impression of Ramus where he's like, and he's like nudging you like, yeah, these idiots.
Okay.
I start.
But is he making like noises like it has a voice?
It's vocalizing. Like, you heard it growling at him, but it's
Okay.
it's like making like a mocking noise that sounds like talking,
Right, yeah.
but it doesn't seem to be able to talk.
Okay.
Yeah, like you don't get the impression that it's just not talking. Like it just doesn't seem like it has the
Ability, right,
capability. Yeah.
Right, sure. So it's a lot like Olong Johnson, like that cat that was like Olong Johnson, like that kind of stuff. Like it can do that shit.
Yeah. Or like Abu from Aladdin.
There
Like,
you go.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
stuff,
right.
yeah.
Which is weird because he sounds like a duck. Like
It sounds
stupid monkey.
It does. It sounds more like.
What's the Donald Duck?
It's the Donald Duck
rather.
noise. Yeah.
We're Disney, actually.
Right on the Disney side of
Yeah,
things.
the Disney.
All right.
Please stop talking about
So-
Disney on the other side over there. The experts are over here.
Yeah.
I take 10 minutes to cast detect magic.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So you wait around.
Oh, it
for
takes
10
that
minutes.
long?
It does. It's a ritual. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he can cast it and use up a slot, but it takes 10 minutes if he wants to like cast it as a.
Yeah.
So you begin. You take out your like prayer beads and like begin channeling the power of heaven. And when you open your eyes from the ritual, I mean, what's everybody else doing for 10 minutes while Ramus?
Berg has
Well, I
just
wanted
been
to-
in the bush just in case,
Right.
anticipating something going horribly wrong.
When you finally emerge from the bush, this little fucker's gonna flip out. Like he was here all along. What the hell?
I know. I know.
I'll be talking to the thing like I want to like commend it for its good impressions. Like, oh, that's quite good, and I
It
like pat him
seems-
and.
It
whatever.
seems really interested in. So like it kind of wakes up. It stops being sleepy, and you like set it down, and it seems really interested in your jug, your wine jug. And it's like sniffing at it and like walking around it in circles and kind of poking its like nose on it, and it keeps looking at you like, "What is this?" So that's
And
happening.
I take it, and then I take out the mirror that I have, the magic mirror that I have, and I kind of like put that down to see if it's magic that it smells or it's
Yes. Yeah. So when you take it out, it like looks over and follows it, and you set it down, and it runs over, and so it's like sniffing at it.
Oh, well, there's something there. All right, I put the mirror back in my pouch, and I pour out a little water for him if he wants some.
It doesn't drink it. He just looks at it like, "Why did you pour water on the ground?" and looks at you kind of like, "What are you doing?"
You don't. I take it and splash it in my mouth. You don't need to drink anything. You're not thirsty.
And he just shakes his head.
Not hungry. Do you poop?
He looks at you like, "That's a personal question." Like, how dare you?
Well, it seems like you are of magical nature, and you don't eat or drink or anything. You do sleep, though, so that's something.
Yeah, and he just seems like super interested in the magic items. As long as they're around, that's his like primary attention, and he pays the most attention to that thing. Berg, a centipede, crawls across your armor. A bead of sweat drips down your face, but you remain hidden in the bush.
Yeah. Well, Berg's just puzzled by
Yeah.
this, and he's kind of suspicious of the things still because it looks so weird. Yeah, I think that. Yeah,
Berg's been hurt by cute things.
I'm gonna try
before.
to roll a nature check just to see.
Yeah, you're
what
observing
happens.
the situation from it. Yeah, okay, go
All
ahead.
right, here.
What's your plus nature?
Nature is 3.
Okay.
Plus
Right.
3.
Okay.
All right. Waiting. Yep. It's all right. I'm warming it up. Eh. 10. So it's 13.
13.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't look like any natural creature you've ever seen. Like I said, it's reminiscent of a few things, right? It has the general body shape of like a kind of a piglet, or like a hairless koala. The wings seem to be like bat wings, but again, they're this sort of pinkish gray color. It has the kind of bat pig-like face. Yeah.
So I just recognize the things it kind of resembles.
Yeah.
It's just this weird kind
it
of
reminds you of a few
mixture of
things.
everything.
Yeah, but not in the way that like a chimera would, where you're like goat head, lion head, snake tail. Like it's you're just like, this kind of looks like, you know, that thing where you're trying to like familiarize with yourself with something, and so you look for analogs. So yeah, but you've never seen like this kind of thing before. Yeah.
The player in me is suspicious of it. Of just like, is this how they?
Oh, I'm suspicious of
Is this how they
everything.
flush him out? And Berg is
Right.
suspicious
Yeah,
of it
and
because
he
he
should
just
be.
doesn't know what it is. So
Yeah.
that's why both of them aligning are just like, let's stay in the bush
Perfect.
and see what
Yeah,
happens.
just holding
Yeah.
your sword or
I
holding
mean,
your hammer.
there's a
whatever.
reason why Maharib has not talked to you yet.
Oh yeah.
You should stay hidden.
Yeah, no, I am. Berg, like, there's like a bug. He's just like,
Maharib, while Ramus is preparing that spell or whatever he's doing, I found something out about this thing. It seems to be able to sniff out things that are made from or imbued with magic. It seemed to really like my jug and this mirror that I have, both of which have magical properties.
Is an Arcana check to see if I know of a creature that does that?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll do that. And I think as you ask me that, my back's like turned to you because I'm looking for tracks. But
Okay.
the second you say that, I just want to like turn around and say, oh yeah, that's a blank.
Mhm.
That's what it
Right.
is.
If you get the. If you
Yeah,
get
so I have a +1.
Okay.
13?
You don't know specifically what it is, but that's definitely a thing. And it's not, there isn't, not that you can think of, there isn't like a natural creature that just does that. But there, you know, of rumors of like shamans or whatever who are able to conjure spirits or create like temporary magical like, creatures to help them find treasure.
Okay. Then, yeah, I do the head turn back and say, makes sense. Definitely has a master. It might actually eat that mirror. Be careful.
I'm not. It didn't seem like it wanted to devour it. It reminded me of like a hog who hunts for mushrooms.
Everything has an appetite. It didn't want the rations.
It doesn't eat. It doesn't drink. I asked it.
It can lie. Can it not?
I suppose, but
Those are the three human traits: eating, drinking, and lying.
Yeah.
I think is nothing
Yeah.
else.
I think at that point I'm turned around and I'm looking for tracks around the trap to see if they've been covered up because something set this.
Yeah.
And so someone had to have walked off or walked here.
Make a survival check.
Okay.
didn't we already see the kobold tracks or not?
Yes, but he's looking for if they left the place. Like
Oh.
you saw the tracks around, but now he's tracking. He's like, they
Oh.
set
Yeah.
the trap, and then what happened?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I get a +3 here.
wow.
It's good. So no, there's no. I mean, again, to be fair, it's a jungle, right?
Yeah, it's
and
hard
so
to
like
see.
it's muddy, and there's like a lot of stuff, and it's not.
Well-
it's not an easy place to track.
Didn't we already establish before when we saw the trap initially that you said that the soldier was like fairly fresh? The body was fairly fresh.
Yes.
So we know it wasn't like an old trap.
Yeah, he had decomposed because it's hot and there's bugs, and like part of his body had been chewed off
Right.
by like a lizard or something. But like it wasn't he wasn't bones yet.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think at that point I'd just like grab a bunch of grass and just throw it because I'm frustrated.
Yeah, right. He's like yank off a tree.
Like,
So around
yeah,
that,
mutter,
yeah,
I'm like, we're wasting time.
yeah, and around that time, I think Ramus, you finish, you do the final like, and you open your eyes, and your eyes are glowing for a moment, and you take a look around, and obviously you see like Maharib's sword glowing, and you see Berg's hammer in the bushes, like a heat map. You see the jug laid out on the ground. You see the jug and the mirror. And then yeah, the creature, and it's like completely like magical. It's like everything about it's just glowing with magic. And you get the
Like school.
You get the school.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's conjuration. Let me double check. Yeah. And with that, like, it's transmutation. Sorry, transmutation. And with that, yeah, there's no question that this creature is like a magical construct.
This isn't a natural thing. It's radiating magic. Someone or something made this.
Must be why it has that child smell. It's newly created, I'd imagine.
Perhaps a shaman. Kobold shaman created this creature.
Would I know anything about? Because it's been a while since I've been back, but any local tribal like that would have a shaman, like.
No, everybody in the Court of Swords that lives in like the villages and stuff, they're very like the Court of Swords is very staunchly like pro heaven.
Okay.
There are religious people in that way.
Okay.
Anybody who would like have a different like if druids or whatever like have a primordial, they would have been driven away. Like they'd be in hiding. Because it's actually it's like straight up illegal here.
Sure.
To
Okay.
worship the elder gods, to worship anything other than heaven.
Okay.
You can get arrested and thrown in jail. So people don't do it, or if they do, sometimes there are people who have like ancestor cults or whatever. But that's still kind of a form of like heaven worship because it's like praying for their revivification as a greater life form, or like So
Would this creature in and of itself be considered like an illegality, like against the law?
It really
or-
depends, and that's a thing that Ramus, it would occur to you too. Like if this is a conjured thing, it depends on what gives it its power, right? Because we talked ages and ages ago about like sentient magic items or like imbuing objects with souls. That is like crazy blasphemous, like because that's preventing a soul from being reincarnated. That's essentially vampirism, right? You're stealing something's soul to put in an object to empower it. If that's the case, if this thing has like a soul, then whoever made it is a monster.
Yeah, this type of magic, it seems alive. Like, it feels like a living thing. This is magic that should not be here.
If only we had someone who had swallowed a bell, we could see if it had a soul inside. Sorry.
Berg,
Mm-hmm.
you begin to get a leg cramp.
Can I roll to?
Yeah, make a Constitution save.
Yep.
You can feel Charlie riding up on that horse.
Yep. That's why I have a con
It's like
modifier. of
gritting your
5.
teeth. You can feel your muscles.
I have been.
cramping
I've just
up.
been crouched there
Yeah.
for a very long time. So
11?
That's an 11.
Okay, all right, you got
Pretty
better
much.
than 10, so you're okay. You fight through the pain. Like, as you can feel your like.
I
foot
think at
cramping up.
this point in time, since all three of us are out, I kind of look around and go, did Berg run off, or where is he?
Like the tactical portion of my brain turns around. There's no one with us. It's just us three. And I like look at the creature to see if he understands that.
Okay. Go make a deception check.
Okay.
Could be a
there's
magical,
a roll.
weird ass scout.
Great. My deception is a -2.
You're gonna do great. I feel it.
Hey, 15.
See,
Not bad.
So
See?
15. Okay.
Positive reinforcements.
Let's see. I have a +5 on my
A
roll.
+5?
He's gonna roll like shit. Look at
17.
damn it.
Fuck.
17. So I think you're like there's just three of us, but when you say Berg, the little guy looks at you like he clearly understands like there's another person around here, and when you lie, he looks at you and then looks back at you like, did you hear this guy lying to me? and he's like now he's like looking around and like smelling again.
Does Maharib just like give him like the fucking
Yeah. No, you just hear like
Way to
a-
go.
I look down at the thing. So it sniffs when it wants to find something. Like
Yeah.
it gives a sniff. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna like encourage it. Like, can you smell him? Can you find him?
And and it looks at you and kind of like nods and then starts sniffing the ground and like starts sniffing around for Berg.
All right then, go on and find him if you can.
And you notice, because now you're like observing this thing, you see that its eyes start to glow like brighter. And yeah, it's like taking these like deep breaths and like sniffing around. I'm gonna roll to try to find you again. I'm gonna give him advantage this time. Okay, it's like a 5, it's like 7, and 20, 21. Okay, so it like sniffs around for a minute and then turns, and you can see its eyes are like glowing now, and it just like looks right at the bush and like waddles over there as fast as it can. So it's like coming towards you.
Oh, I pick him. I scoop him up as soon as I know
he
he's
makes
got him.
he makes like a squeal of protest and like bicycles his legs in the air. Yeah, like he really.
No,
He's
you've done a good job. Now calm down.
Yeah, and he's like like whining and trying to squirm away from you.
yeah.
Like it's upsetting him that he can't like go and dive into that bush.
Right. Well, I take the mirror out and like wave it in front of him, try and sate him.
Yeah. Make an animal handling check.
Okay.
What's your animal handling?
Not super great, but it's +3.
Okay.
Here come big animals. 15.
15 is not enough. He squirms out of your
Aw,
grasp.
okay.
And runs over to the bush and starts making little like chuffing sounds and like sniffing at the bush, trying to like find you. Dude, you come out or you?
I guess at this point, Berg would come out. Like he just slowly gets up and comes
Yeah.
out of the bush.
I mean,
and
it's
just-
been over 10 minutes. If something was
no.
coming, it would have hit.
Yeah,
and
and
then
then-
you like stand up.
Well, Berg's it's like we've been here for a while. We need to move anyways
Yeah.
and deal with the situation. And he's found, so he gets up.
Second he starts standing up, I don't notice the eyes glow, right? Because its back is turned to me.
Yeah.
Okay. I still think that Maharib believes if it's a summoned creature, if he had this ability, he would use it as a scout. So he just says, something else knows we're here. That creature is a scout.
Yeah, when you point to it, when you say that, we get a shot from its perspective, right? So we kind of see the world as it does. It's all like low to the ground. And we see Berg emerging from the thing, and from your hammer, because that's the only magic item you have on you, right? From your hammer, there are like there's a big fancy particle effect, like drifting off of it, like there's little motes of light floating around it and like drifting down, and it like takes a deep breath, and we see the motes of light like float into its big nostrils. And its eyes fade now that it's like got a smell of the thing, and it looks up at you and it sees you, and it kind of like its eyes go wide and it bows its head and like claps like this and like bows to you, and then just like keeps its forehead pressed to the ground and is like
Berg's just
in
looking down.
emulation of like a human monk's like prostration before the arcana. Like this is a symbolic gesture that a monk would use during prayer to be like, we are below heaven and bow to its submission. And it does that to Berg.
Well, I see that as a symbol of reverence.
I would like to
Yeah.
make an Arcana check to if I know any curses or spells that are used to transform people into a creature like this.
Sure.
And I'll use guidance as well.
Jesus.
Sorry.
Got to be careful of those
Yeah, I know.
things, man. They're deadly weapons.
8 plus.
That's a 3.
1.
Yeah, that's the 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
5 plus
9.
9?
Yeah.
I mean, fairy tales, right?
Yep.
Like, the wicked witch of the swamp will take you away if you're a bad baby. But, like, you don't know. That's
Now-
not your area of expertise.
Is
Being alive is enough of a curse.
This might be a little too specific, but is it making a gesture of reverence that is particular to one area? Like Japanese people bow one way,
Right.
Chinese people show reverence another way.
This is, and because you have like a religious background too.
Yeah.
Like it's a generally accepted heaven mandated like way for humans to behave. So everyone does it. There's obviously like cultural variations, but it's a pretty standard like the clap to ward off bad luck, the head below the hands as a like symbol of submission to heaven, and then the like hands flat on the ground, the forehead to the ground as like a symbol of deepest respect. and it's pretty normal. Sometimes the order is a bit different. Sometimes there's 2 claps. Like but the general process, both of you can tell it. Like, yeah, it sees Berg as like an emissary of heaven or like a holy man or something, and it's just like,
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Well, it seems that, well, my thinking is that someone sent this this thing to find Berg, like they did. There's the word of his coming may have spread, or his reputation may have followed him or preceded him here.
Perhaps. I believe it also sees a creature of heaven for the first time. A pure creature of heaven, which is my understanding is what Berg is.
Is that what you are, Berg?
Berg's just staring at the thing.
Mhm.
Like,
What?
Why do you think this thing is bowing to you like other things in the past have done?
Because I have something about me different from the rest. Maybe it likes things from heaven. I don't know. Why would I know?
Well, because you are Berg and I am not. I thought maybe. Anyway.
I don't know what that is.
Berg, instruct it to do something. See if it takes what you say with more value.
Get up.
It turns its head up towards you. It's got like mud all over its face now because it has face down. And, like looks up and like blinks the mud off its face, and it stands up or like gets back up on all fours. And actually, I think it flops back and like wipes the mud off its face with its little paws, and it just blinks and like looks at you.
Well, I don't know why we can't just. It understands me. Sniffy, were you sent here to find Berg? This one, I point to him.
It tries to answer and then again like can't, where it's just like and like shakes his head like it's got a headache and looks at you like confused.
Tries to obey us, but it's under magical orders. I'm guessing not to.
Something
Go-
is stopping it.
I go over and grab Bahath as if I'm ready to move. And Berg, tell it to take us where it came from.
1 second. I walk up to it, and I cast Remove Curse on it.
Okay.
See if anything happens.
All right. Yeah. So
it's
you-
clearly being stopped.
You
by-
cast Remove Curse, and the thing looks at you like, "What are you praying at me for?" And you finish the spell, and there's no clear sign that anything's changed. You don't see like magical shackles like breaking or anything like it.
Do you
The
say
spell happens, but you wouldn't know if it worked or not.
Yeah.
right?
What did you just cast?
In case it was a curse from the Mara or something, it should have freed it, but it had
Well,
no
maybe
effect.
Ask it
let it answer us.
Ask it the same question.
Well, so you notice when you said like a curse from the Mara, its wings like popped back out and it started growling and like looking around.
Do you fight the Mara? I look at him.
Yeah, it's just like snarling and like on alert. All of a sudden, its hackles are up.
Were you sent to find us or him?
And it seems like distracted, like it's scared now. Like it's just saying the word has like triggered a like fear response. It thinks it's in danger.
I put him back. I like try and like gently put my trunk on him and then roll him over on his back again and do the belly rub.
Make an animal handling check.
Okay.
Oh, God.
All right. +3. Here we go.
Make good rolls.
Hey, 20,
Got 20?
20 total.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, I think when you first come over, it like hisses a little bit and like scampers away, and then it realizes like, okay, it's just the elephant guy, and like slowly kind of like lowers its wings, but it seems like nervous. Like you can't fully get it to like relax.
Right.
But you've calmed it down a little.
Yeah. Maybe watch the M word around the thing. It seems to excite it.
Yes.
So back to my question, Sniffy. Are you here to find Berg or this group?
And it looks at you like the last time you asked me that I couldn't tell you, and it takes a deep breath, like, and like does the same thing, like closes his eyes and kind of grabs his head and like rolls around in the mud a little bit.
All right.
And looks at you like breathing hard.
Very well. I'm
like I tried.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You can rest now. I put him back. If
Yeah,
he lets
yeah,
me.
he just climbs up your
shoulder.
trunk onto
Yep,
your
yep.
shoulder.
Spell did not work, Ramus.
I know.
Well, the spell, I'm assuming, worked. I'm thinking it's not cursed. It was.
Yeah. The spell worked. It's just that wasn't what was wrong.
Sorry, Ramus' spells never fail.
It's not. I don't know if a created creature is cursed.
Here's what we know. It listens to Berg. It sees it as some, I don't know, devout figure. I kind of just like look at Berg a little bit longer when I say that. It listens to him. Let's have it take us back to where it came from.
You can obviously understand us. If it's like we had a wizard friend with us before that had a creature like this. It could see through its eyes and command it, but it was a normal animal. This is something different. It seems like a creature that's unable to speak to us, even though it wants to, because of some spell on it.
Yeah, it definitely seems more self-aware and more like realized than a familiar. Yeah, it doesn't appear to be like the embodiment of a spirit or anything like that. Yeah.
Well, I don't like us staying here too long.
I
If
agree.
we're followed, we're giving them a chance to catch up.
Also, we have to consider if we follow it, it might lead us in the opposite direction than our actual predetermined destination.
It doesn't listen to me. Ask him if he knows where the temple
I
is.
could try one more thing, but it might kill it. Or
Does
make
he
it
react to
disappear.
that?
Yeah,
Does
I
it
like-
react to-
Yeah.
Is it like, huh?
I put
Yeah,
my
he
ear
looks
over, like
over
I
and-
flap my ear over top of it and try
I mean,
and,
it might vanish, not kill it.
Oh, you want to try to like banish it or whatever? Yeah.
Dispel magic on it.
Oh.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, it should just...
Okay.
It turns into a puddle of crap.
if you're going to do something that is risky as far as it's concerned, I
Wouldn't
think-
hurt it. It would just undo whatever was done to it to make it.
Is it not a creature?
But if it was made entirely of magic,
Absolutely.
It would go back to where it came from or just stop existing.
We learned nothing at that point.
We may learn nothing now, but it's just a suggestion if you want it. That's why I didn't just do it.
Berg, ask it to take us back where it came from.
Okay. You thing. Take us back from where you came from.
Yeah, we all of our eyes just laser focus in on the creature.
Okay, make a persuasion check.
Can we? Is there any way we can assist?
Yeah,
this?
you've got advantage from.
I have
from-
-2, so yes.
Okay, so you have advantage. So to get Zeke's help there.
there you go.
We
There's
roll
my
one at a
help
time
dice.
or at the same time.
Well, it's advantage. Roll them together.
I roll them together,
Right.
baby.
Yeah.
You betcha.
Hey, not bad.
17.
Shitty die.
So it's 15, right?
Minus-
So you have -2.
Yeah, 15 total.
Yeah.
15 minus.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So it like kind of looks at you, and, like looks at Maharib, and you can see he's kind of like getting. It's like thinking about it.
As he's thinking about it, Berg's like,
Go on then.
And yeah, and he kind of like looks at you and he makes a decision, and he walks like starts walking down your arm, so you have to like lift your arm or it will fall off. And he gets to like about here, and he spreads his wings and he can like crouches down and then jumps off and starts flying away.
Fast.
faster than
Like,
us.
I mean, no, you could like jog after it.
Right.
You can't hover. Like, it's a chubby little cherub, right? So it's like it's a little awkward in the air, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it's like doing like
I
that.
I start following him.
flies like a
immediately.
Moogle.
yeah.
It's butt
Berg,
heavy.
Berg follows.
I like run past the group. We
Yep.
move.
Okay, so you're gonna follow off after it?
Yep,
Okay,
yep.
all right.
Now is it? You were leading, right?
I was, yeah.
Is it opposite the direction that he was taking us?
If you
We were-
are,
yeah, we were headed towards
if,
temple,
If the
so.
if the moon temple is here and the sun temple is here, and you guys are going straight towards it, it's veering off this way.
Do I have anything to like? I don't. I have common clothes. I think as we're running, or I'll take a quick stop. Can I just take those out and shred them, and start tying them to trees as we're
I
running
mean,
by?
stopping to tie them, like you
How-
can
how-
drop stuff, but
How?
You always throw it in a
If I
bush.
stop and then continue, how far behind will I go?
you might lose them. You would have to make a survival check to
You just
like,
throw it on a bush.
find them.
Okay,
like-
I'll throw it on a bush.
I mean, it wouldn't be hard to like just run past and like pierce
So
into like a tree
what you're
branch or
doing? What you're
something.
doing is you're creating a trail of like discarded clothes, so that it looks like someone ran off into the jungle throwing off their clothes, like pants and a belt and a
Someone's
shirt.
having a crazy acid
Someone's-
trip and there's
that's right.
just
Exactly.
some
Somebody licked the wrong
toad, yeah.
frog.
Yeah.
or the wrong bat baby thing.
That's right. Yeah.
I will destroy my common clothes. now.
Okay. Yes, please do. All right. So you tear them up as you go, and you kind of throw them behind you to leave a breadcrumb trail of clothes.
As it's flying away, if it's still in view,
Yeah.
I want to like do a little like a little trumpet with my trunk, just a little burnt to like get its attention. If it does, and just like kind of call up to like, don't go too far.
Right. Okay. Yeah. It looks over its shoulder, almost crashes into a tree, and then like veers back around.
Okay.
And kind of like it's not trying to get away.
Okay,
It's
good,
just
good.
you're expected to keep up. So you follow it for like maybe 15 minutes or so before it stops. On you come around a corner, or you come out of the bushes, and there's a bit of a rivulet kind of running across in a little lower gully, and there's some rocks here, and the trees kind of don't grow down into the gully, so there's a bit of an open space, and it's stopped, and it's sitting on a rock, waiting for you, and you come out, and it's
Yeah, I'd see the river. Are we crossing this?
Yeah, and by like rivulet, I mean it's like this wide. It's like a little like stream
Oh,
of kind of muddy
okay.
water. Yeah, you don't have to worry about like.
You're on
flooding
the
or anything.
east bank. You're on
Yeah.
the west bank.
Yeah. And
Okay.
it just stopped?
Let's stop to wait for you, and then once it sees that you've come out, it looks at you again, and it walks down the little rock, walks across the river, and disappears. So it just like whoop, gone as it walks away. You see where it goes, and just
I will pick up rock, whatever, on the ground and toss it at that
Okay.
direction.
can you make a wisdom saving throw for
Oh,
me,
God.
please?
Wisdom
saving throw.
roll. I have a -1 on wisdom saving rolls.
Where is this thing led us?
13?
Oh, sorry. It should be an intelligence save.
Can I have the same roll?
Yeah, just keep the same roll. Just
15. then.
Okay, 15. All right.
Yeah. +1 instead of -1.
I gotta figure out the DC of this. I think you have advantage because you just saw something like disappear. Roll another die and add the same.
So 15 or 9.
Okay. All right. So you see, and actually everybody else also make an intelligence save with because you're watching Maharib do this.
Well, that
Intelligence
Ramus-
save.
Yeah. Sorry.
Ramus will go first.
Intelligence save with
Yeah,
advantage.
Ramus can start us out.
Okay.
16.
Okay.
Same thing.
You want to go Yotazo?
Yep.
Are you guys both at -1?
We're rolling with advantage.
Yes, with
Okay.
advantage.
Okay. I'm at -1 as well.
Nice.
But I got
Hey,
17
Okay.
for the best roll. Okay, you can go.
You got a -1, Bird?
No, it should be more than that, wouldn't it? No, I guess it isn't.
No, because you don't have a.
We're
yeah.
of similar intelligence.
All right.
You're just not very wise as well on top of that.
Okay, so,
So
17 's the
17
best?
was the best. Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone sees Maharib pick up a rock, throw
sorry.
it, and it sails across the river and thump, lands in the dirt.
Maybe you need a password or something. It seems like a magical barrier that camouflages what's actually there.
Who wants to go first?
Before he even finishes that, I think I walk
I
and
li-
Bird
like,
also
yeah,
walks-
You
Before-
both like I'm going. No, I'm going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I look at Bird. Go ahead.
Yeah, Berg literally just says,
I'll do it. I always do.
Okay, both of you make wisdom saves. This is just a regular wisdom save.
Okay, you want to start, Max?
"Yeah, I'll start us off." So it's -2 for whatever I roll here. Okay, great. It's not good.
What'd you get?
So that's a 9, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So 7.
7.
Okay.
This is a wisdom roll?
Yes, a wisdom saving throw.
All right. Oh, saving throw. So this is a -1. All right, here we go. Do well. A 10.
Okay, so you two see these two walk forward and disappear. You guys walk across the river and turn around and you're like, look, you're just standing on the other side. There's just nothing here.
Is the creature there?
And when you turn around, you don't see these guys.
I look at.
Yeah, Berg turns around, and is like, looks at you and goes,
Like you see the rock that you threw; it's sitting right on the ground, and you walk across and you look and you're like, they're gone, and you just see them disappear when they
I
take a
think
step
I
forward.
just shout out like, Ramus, Yota, come through.
Can we
they
hear?
hear
No,
that?
no, you don't. Well, make perception checks.
Okay.
Yeah, both of you make perception checks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ramus first.
No, not Ramus. Ramus hears you because you hear him. I need these two.
I'm watching the camera.
Oh.
It's like, God damn it, which one is going?
Yeah, these guys.
Oh.
I don't need.
Oh,
I need to roll.
my
for
bad.
you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
these two need to perceive to see. If
I
they
will
hear you.
perceive.
Wait, but I walked through with him.
Oh yes. Yeah, right. It wasn't you. It was you two. Okay, yeah. Sorry. So it's
I
either,
will
either
go-
side
I'll
is
go
right.
first.
Okay.
These two need to go. Yeah.
There it is. There's my roll. Perception, right?
Everybody's getting split up in
your
weird
modifier for
directions.
Did you say perception?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Perception is +3, so 19 total.
Right. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Because the two big boys.
What's your
went through.
perception?
Sorry.
+9.
Okay.
Feeling
Okay.
nice and
I'm
warm
rolling
and
now.
hot.
Okay.
All right.
Dan's rolling. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's coming.
I hope this works.
I'm
Whoop.
wondering how we can
Butterfly.
perceive it.
Yeah.
15.
Okay. And what did you get?
19 total.
19. Okay. You both hear Mahari be like, "Come through," but he sounds like he's like 100 feet
Yeah.
away.
Like it's coming through like some long muffled hallway.
No, he just sounds like he's far away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It did, I mean, honestly, it feels like Poltergeist, like, Carolyn,
Yeah.
Carolyn.
Very good.
Yeah, it's not weird or echoey. It's just like you're hearing them like shout at you from far away. Like you hear Maharib's voice because it sounds different than the rest of the thing because you're listening for it. But like you hear, yeah.
I'm going to stand at the line,
Okay, like walk up.
and I'm just going to poke my head in.
Okay,
just
make,
my head.
make a wisdom save.
Decapitated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, wisdom save coming.
Okay.
No, it's all good.
Boy.
Here we go. Wisdom save
Good.
+3, so 13.
Okay. You are like magically compelled to move forward or to move back. Which is it?
I'll move forward.
Okay. all right.
Magically compelled?
Yeah, he can't like. It's like there's an instinct
One or
like
the
his,
other, yeah.
he just like stumbles
Oh.
forward or is pushed back. And I just want to let him decide.
Oh, okay.
And with your failed save, like I'm telling you that, but Yotazo would not have noticed. Like you would have felt like you tripped or like
Yeah,
you don't
something-
notice that you
something
were
just
pushed.
pulled him forward,
yeah.
yeah.
No, you like it seems natural.
Okay.
So you
Right.
maybe you intended to stick your head through, but you end up stepping and you just he just steps out of the like out of nowhere, just appears.
Where's Ramus?
Ramus, you're all by yourself on the
yeah.
other side.
I know that I meant to just stick my head in, though.
Do you?
No, I don't think so. Like I think
Okay.
you would have been like I think I was gonna just look, but like now here
Okay.
I am.
Yeah,
it
sounded
definitely
like
it's fucking with
it
your
seemed
brain.
like his own idea of his own.
Yes.
accord.
Yeah, exactly. You like, you're like,
I-
I'm gonna take a step through.
I could hear you speaking, but it was like you were well further than you are away. Your voice was small, like you had traveled, and I thought I'd join you, I guess.
You tell me if this makes sense. Being around, not necessarily similar stuff, but being around gods and whatnot at one point.
You know,
Do I
gods and
understand
whatnot.
this?
No, you don't. You have no fucking clue what's going on. But I can tell you, it is definitely triggering your like Conan style, like sorcerers. I hate them. Like magical trickery.
Well, then I get flustered and walk back through to grab Ramus to pull him to come back through. So I'm walking where I think
make
is the out.
Yeah, make a wisdom saving throw. So
Oh,
you turn
God.
around and walk across the other.
Have we all succeeded thus far? Have you told us otherwise?
I'll tell
I
you.
don't
if
think
you
you
succeed.
said
I think you've
anything
all.
thus far.
Yeah, I haven't said anything. I'll
All
tell you
right,
if anything
let's
changes.
see how it
Yeah.
goes. -1. It's a 16.
16. Okay. So you take a step forward and you just cross the thing. You two see him disappear. I'm trying to fucking play musical chairs. You see him disappear. You turn around. You see they're gone. The people you're just standing with, and Ramus is nowhere to be seen.
I walk through and just not see Ramus. Fuck.
You're right. You're just like by yourself now, but you're all in the same place, like the same stream, the same rock, the same trees. Like everything is identical, but none of you are co-located. None of you are like you can't see each other.
Well, I went
So-
through, and I'm
Wait.
with.
Yeah, except for the
Burger.
two that are together. Yes.
Yeah, me and
right.
Burger together.
The chicken and the fox are in the boat, and the grain is on the other side.
Yep.
Yeah. So the two of you are together, but I mean like the groups every time someone goes through. So what are you doing, Ramus? You've seen everyone walk through the thing before.
I wait there for a second for them to come back out, but since no one's doing that,
Yeah.
I decide, okay, I'm just going to go in.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, you're making a save again? Okay.
Great.
How's
Wisdom?
Yeah.
So 15.
Okay. Same thing, but now you just cross the thing. There's nobody on the other side. For you, nothing happens. Like you're just like, here we go. You take a step across the stream. You're like, you just stepped across the stream. Like nothing's happened.
And no one's around?
Yeah, no. It's just you're still by yourself.
Oh.
I look around for Sniffy.
Yeah, you don't see him.
Sniffy's not here.
No.
God damn you.
Bird picks
Is
up
he-
a rock and throws it back the other way.
Okay. Yeah, make an intelligence saving throw.
Fucking sorcerers.
Get that out of your way. Get it out of there. Sorry. Get my dice out of your box.
Yeah.
So that's 11.
Okay. How hard did you say you threw this rock? Is
good
this like
little
an
toss.
angry throw? Is this a
It's
toss?
a good little like.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna roll.
Oh God.
damage?
I'm gonna roll a d6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh goody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got a 6. Sorry. So Yota, you're with Berg, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Berg's like "Ugh," throws the rock in, and it just comes back out.
I deflect
Yeah, towards you, and you just catch it.
Yep.
And like
I got the deflect missiles reaction. Just.
yeah. So Berg throws the rock in, and it just comes right back out, and he grabs it with his trunk.
Who threw this?
Yeah.
I did you. Just saw me.
Oh, it went in and then came out.
Yeah, it went in and it came back out.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't say that then.
No.
I didn't say that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's just
Okay.
I forgot that
Alright.
we were together. It
Yeah.
didn't seem like feasible for you to do that.
I
But, yeah,
cross
grab
back
it.
over the other way. Just
Okay, same
again.
thing. Wisdom. Every time you cross over,
Okay.
make a wisdom save.
Let me get my dice out of there. Hope this goes well. Or else we're just going to keep splitting the fucking universe.
I have 25.
Oh, nice.
25? Okay. So this time you turn around and you step over and it feels different. Something about it feels different as you cross the line. So you feel like you are pushing through a barrier or there's like a permeable surface that you feel resisting you, and then there's a pop as you step across, and this time you see something completely different. So you're looking into an area about maybe like 100 feet across. It's vaguely circular, where the trees have been cleared away. The ground is flat. You can see a like a wooden hut. There's another like a tower, a little wooden tower. There's like a perimeter fence with like a moat dug into it. It's not filled, like a pit dug around this like fence of sharpened sticks poking up. There's like a fire going somewhere in the distance across the pit, and in front of you, sitting on a stump, you see the little creature, and it looks up at you, and it kind of makes a face like, "Oh, this one," and then he just goes, "Like you did it."
I want to give Berg a piece of a rope, and I'll just go through like hold on to this and see if you can see me. If you can't, and I'll tug on it to see if it. Just hold on to this.
Okay.
I don't have much of a.
And you're gonna go through?
Yeah, I don't have much of a plan right now, but just hold on to that. All right, and I go through and I make a wisdom.
Yeah, and do it with advantage now, because you're starting to like prod the fence, right?
Right. Okay, advantage. still not there. 12.
Okay.
Or,
I'm
yeah, 9 plus
just
3
gonna
is
roll
12.
a
Yeah.
random number here. Oh my god. Okay, so this is confusing.
Oh,
You're
God.
holding the rope. He's holding the rope. He walks in and comes out on the other side of you, and the rope goes like this. You watch it go rip around you, and he reappears. Another rope is facing, and it's like.
Is the rope still going?
No,
Oh.
like, well, so you step out, and the rope just goes, like I said, it kind of goes like, if you're on this side, it like flips around.
Yeah.
Oh,
like a-
okay.
And you
So
disappear.
the rope's like-
he watches the rope like dowsing rod float in the air,
Yeah.
and then you reemerge beside him on the other side, facing away from him, and the rope is like hanging between you.
Welcome back.
This is very, very strange. Can I make like a history, arcana, something
Make an
check?
Arcana check.
Okay.
Yeah.
To see like what the hell this is and how I can get around it. Arcana is -1, of course, because it's intelligence. And a 5, a big old nasty 5.
Yeah, you don't know the details, but again, it's that like something's going on. There's some kind of weird magic horse shit happening to you right now.
Stay here. I'm going to do it again. And see if, because these, never mind. And I just walk.
Berg's just sitting there like,
Holding the rope.
I'll hold the
Okay.
rope.
Do I still get advantage or? Okay. I'm just wondering, like, fucking hell, man.
Okay.
And it just does this. Oh, no.
So this time, he walks in, and there's a faint, like, kind of popping, like an air pop, like it's on your ears popping almost, and the rope just goes and just like hangs limp in front of you, and the end of it is like just perfectly sheared off. And you walk across the stream, turn around, Berg's gone, you're all alone, and you're holding a chunk of rope.
Just,
So while they're playing this game, what are you doing?
damn it.
I guess my understanding is that each time we walk through this, there's a chance that it pops us in a different place. So I've just been pop,
Back and forth, back and forth.
back and
Yeah,
forth.
make a roll with advantage.
Okay.
So wisdom saving
I'm
throw.
just going to go until I see someone.
Okay, sure.
So
Yep.
however many tries that
Okay,
takes.
make the roll with advantage.
Okay, we'll see how it goes. That's a 5. Oh, sorry, I'll get another one. What was that? 17.
17.
Wisdom. So that's a 16.
16. Okay. So you walk through. Okay, so you walk through the first time, and you walk out, and you see Yota standing there holding a rope, just a chunk, like a 3-foot length of rope.
And I
Maharib comes out, like a
Have you-
appears.
have you seen anybody else? I was with Berg, and now I'm not with Berg. I went through, came back, and was with him, and went through again, and now I'm here with you. So every time we walk through, it's a different place.
So this entire exchange, Ramus, if you turn around, so you see Yota standing next to Maharib talking, and Berg standing next to both of them, just looking dumbly into the air.
Hey.
Like they're standing right like dumbly in the sense of like not speaking. And they're just standing right there. They're like right next to each other.
I asked the creature, is there anything you can do to... They're not the smartest, to help them get here?
So when you say that, you hear a woman's voice, and as she speaks, she like materializes from invisibility. She says, "Well, it's not really about intelligence; it's more force of will." And her invisibility spell like peels away, and you see a woman. She's in her 50s, very dark skin. She has long hair in dreadlocks, with one side of her head shaved, and she has some like arcane like tattoos that go down the side of her head and back down her neck. She has several necklaces of like leather thongs with like bone and feather on them, but then also like a fancy like a silver amulet with some tarnish on it. She's wearing a bunch of rings, though they too are like dented and tarnished. One of them is missing a stone, and she's dressed in like survival gear. Like she has high boots on and like a tunic, and it's all like tied around the elbow so it doesn't get in the way. She looks like someone who spends a lot of time like outside, like working, but has this kind of like janky ornateness to her. And yeah, so she emerges from invisibility and is like rubbing dirt off her hands when she says it. She's like, really, it's more of a case of willpower than is intelligence.
Oh, my God. I did not know someone else was here.
She reaches over and she says, she reaches over to the little guy and she's like, "Good job, Peanut," and like rubs his head, and he's like, and she looks at you and looks you up and down, and you're dressed like would she recognize you as a priest of the tower?
I think I'm not really any specific
You're like a
thing. Yeah.
mishmash of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So she just kind of looks you up and down, trying to guess like, what is this guy's deal? Do you introduce yourself, or do you let her like try to?
I just say to her, I would love to do introductions and stuff, but my friends are going to start freaking out if they don't get past your little welcoming door.
You see just Bird like,
Maureen's like,
Flopping the rope.
why are you
around.
holding a rope?
Well, I was, the other end was in Berg's hands, and now it's I look at the end of it. Is it like just a straight cut?
It's as if the rope was meant to be however long, 47 feet long, right? Like it just like it's sealed at the end, like it's just cut off, like in the same way that you have a
Like
a
it's
3
melted,
foot
like melted on purpose.
Exactly, yeah. And you have a 3 foot length of rope. That's so she inside. She gestures and she says, you know, it's not really fair. It's quite a good spell. I've been working on it a while. Adjustments here and there. It's a combination of an illusion to hide the camp, but there's some transmutation to really give it that verite that I like. I mean, look at the rope, huh? Good detail work, I think.
It is most impressive, I must say. I've never encountered something like this. This is like the perfect hiding spot if you want to hide in the middle of the jungle.
She says, I got the idea when I got tired of making tiny huts all the time. I figured I could do something on a grander scale. Took me months of practice.
Oh, are you talking about the dome spell where it creates a little perfect space?
Yeah.
I had a friend that did that.
She nods and she says, I haven't quite managed to get the temperature control down. Certainly this is no enchanted pillow fort, but I'm working on it.
It's quite lovely in here, I
grab
must say.
Mahareeb's wrist and I go, "Let's go together this time." And I try and grab him to.
I like. If it takes a punch, I do not travel through the door with
He
Zeke.
doesn't want to get his arm
I let
cut
go
off.
and I go.
Yeah,
Okay.
the second he grabs me, I said, "You're going to rip my arm off."
I don't want to be a rope. Make that check.
Okay.
So in the middle of that, she's like, "Oh, they're gonna try to go through," and she turns to like look so you can watch.
17.
Okay, so you see him again take a step towards you and then appear going backwards, and now he's alone, and now you're by yourself, and now all three of them are alone.
They're not under any danger, are they? It's just illusions.
She says, no, they're awfully persistent though.
That is their one redeeming quality, is that they never give up.
And she looks at you and she says, she kind of like, she gives you a look of trying to figure you out, and then she looks at her little friend. She's like, "What do you think, Peanut?" And Peanut kind of shrugs, and he gestures at Berg, and she's like, "Good point. Well, we haven't had company in a while."
Sniffy, where'd you go?
And yeah,
I'm lost. Sniffy, where are you?
And he, when you say that, he like looks up at her like, "Oh, come on, I like that one." And she's like, "Fine." And you notice now that you're watching her interact with this little creature, she's missing a finger, not the whole finger, but like from here, like up. She's got like the little stub of a finger on her left hand. Her like ring finger is missing a piece, and so she's like, "Okay, all right, fine." And she like moves her hands, and you can see like glowing, and there's like runes and stuff. She's obviously like activating a magical effect, and then she thrusts her hands out, and you all three of you hear that ear popping like crackling sound, and when you turn, you see for the first time like the truth of this area, and you see the wall of the spikes, and you see the little moat and the kind of little camp that she's made, and you see Ramus talking to this dark-skinned, vagabond-looking woman.
Yeah, I think it's like Berg's like it's on a turnaround, and he turns around. And he's like,
Yeah.
You all see each other, and you're
The
you're
second I
standing
see
next
the
to each
two
other.
ropes, I'm like, "Oh, smart." Ramus, how many times did it take you?
Oh, just 2. How many times did it take you?
I didn't finish.
Berg walks up to Yota and is like,
Is your rope back?
It's like a little 3 foot.
Let me see the woman standing next to the.
Yeah, and
that.
she's just observing the group of you talking.
Keep that as a reminder of this little event here.
Okay.
Did you help us through there, Sniffy? I called your name, and now I'm here. Also, hello, and I greet.
When you say
hello.
that, she says his name is Peanut.
Oh, well, I apologize. I asked, and it didn't know or
Well,
couldn't speak.
She says it can't communicate, not without my permission.
Oh, indeed.
So you keep slaves.
Not exactly.
when you say that, Berg's like
I know. No, that's why I said it.
eyes narrow and like very
I want
carefully
Berg
look
on
at what
alert
she
mode,
says.
and I know how to manipulate that. So that's why I said you keep slaves.
Yeah, she says not Not exactly. Not in the way you think. Peanut's not exactly a autonomous organism.
Does it have a soul?
Not independently of mine, no.
It's a part of your soul, then.
She says something like that. The theory's quite complicated.
I see.
It's not, you would say, a part of the wheel.
She's like, you know, it's interesting. I didn't expect to be having such a complex conversation about my homunculus this morning.
How rude, I'm sorry. I'm Yotazo. It is a pleasure.
She says that will remain to be seen. I am Zeta al-Shaim. I'm a researcher.
How did you come to be in this place?
Well, I took a camel first, then a series of caravans, and then I walked.
I appreciate the literal answer. Why are you here?
As I said, I'm a researcher. I'm studying.
Are you part of the Sahir?
She laughs, and she says, not yet.
Do I know that word?
Make an Arcana check. Or history, whichever's better.
History is +5, so I will take the
Nice.
+5.
When you say Sahir, Bird
15.
like he remembers that word to himself. He's like, and like U-Tricks and all that stuff flashes back. He's like,
Oh, right.
Zaida what?
Al-Shaim.
Okay, thank you.
15, tell me
15.
anything?
Yeah, so it's not the word you would use, but you recognize it. It's the most common like term for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, among your people, there are cautionary tales of like sorcery. Some people whose blood is born with magic in it, and it becomes so powerful that they like transcend their mortal. Like they become like strange entities controlled by magic.
And she said that she's...
Not yet. Yeah,
Well-
when he's like, "Are you one of the Sahir?" and she said, "Not yet."
Oh, so you just blatantly asked Zahir that you were the one that used it, not
Yeah,
her?
yeah. He.
Oh, okay. Then I guess I don't. I question why Ramus knows that, but this is not the time.
Yeah,
and place.
right.
Yeah.
So you introduce yourself. So you're Yotazo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she says, honored Gaja, who are your friends?
These are my newly made traveling companions. We have come here and found the court in this particular location to be not as I remembered it when I was here the last, it seems, in utter chaos. And everything's overgrown. We haven't seen another, person besides you in quite some time. What is happening here?
That's a small question with a big answer. And as for chaos, well, sometimes things look like chaos if you're not looking at them from the right perspective. There have certainly been some changes to the Court of Swords. Plenty of suffering to go along with it. When was the last time that you were here?
It's been decades.
Now, you've missed the most significant one. The last 12 years have been fascinating. I've only been able to observe them close up for... How long has it been, Peanut? And you can see him, like, counting his little, like, hands.
Little baby
and,
fingers.
yeah, and she's like, almost 2 years now. Has it been that long? I haven't seen anyone, not anyone living, in a while myself. I apologize. Are you hungry, tired? The camp is small, and I don't entirely trust you yet.
Before
but
you-
you're inside the barrier, so we might as well make with the pleasantries.
Before you continue, you haven't seen anyone alive. What did you mean by that? Because we may have similar experiences.
Oh, this whole area is just rife with the undead. Lousy with corpses, getting up, wandering around. I mean, every once in a while, a freebooter will wander through, or a patrol from the army, but they all end up the same way, dead, and then
What
walking around.
is that? What you're researching? What is causing the undead? Or
Oh, no, that's a known factor.
is it?
She nods, and she says, oh, yes. The Mara, in some fashion or another, and he like makes a face, have been in control of this region, I mean, now almost entirely. The Midlands are a mess. How are things? You came from the north? Or did you come by boat? From the south?
Well, we didn't really say, but to the larger point, the demons are running the show now?
You could say that, if you wanted a simple way to put it.
Who are there? Anyone fighting back?
Not around here. Not anymore.
Whose army were you referring to?
Well, the court, of course.
So the court still has a structure.
Last I checked, they have patrols in this area, but only the bravest or most foolish volunteer for that sort of duty.
The monastery of the sun, is it still standing?
She nods.
Is it overrun, or is it...
That's a sad tale better told over a drink. Wait, what do you say? I still don't know your friends. Come inside.
I apologize if I was doing all of the talking, please. If you have things you must ask or want to ask.
Oh, no. You're a great mouthpiece for the party.
She turns
It's a
away.
familiar job.
She's basically like, I'm gonna go inside. Like, come on in. Like, just let's go. And she just turns around and like hops over the moat and just like starts walking in towards her like hut.
How far away is she?
The whole thing is like 100 feet across, so she's maybe like 10. Like hops over this little 4 foot. Like you can tell that the spikes and the pit are meant to like keep animals out, and they seem to have been made before she had the like magic barrier that an animal would just wander through and not notice. So they're not really used. So she just jumps over, just hops over that.
Well, if Ramus is still next to me and she's further away, then I just kind of under my breath at Ramus said, "Do you trust this woman? How long did you speak to her before we came through?"
If she was going to attack us, she could have easily done it. I was by myself, alone. You guys were by yourselves. I don't think she intends us harm.
Yeah, when she turns away, you all notice she has what you maybe thought was like a satchel or something at first, but it's actually, she's got like a belt across her chest, and then hanging from it on a clip is a huge, like, thick book. And it's just like dangling, and it's got some like, ornaments and some bookmarks like hanging off of it. It's clearly, to anybody who like looks at it, it's clearly a spell book.
Okay.
You never did answer the question, though. What are you researching, if not the undead?
She just kind of like waves like, I'll tell you everything inside, and continues to walk off.
Can I get a feeling of her, like an insight of her?
You
Okay.
can make an insight check. Sure.
Okay, cool. Insight is plus 7. Okay, good. All right, insight plus 7. Let's go. 14.
We'll see what Scott says.
14 total.
Okay. All right. Let me roll to see, because she's pretty weird, and whether she's deceiving you on purpose or not, it may be hard to read her. Okay. So I'm gonna get a 15.
Okay.
What
So
did you get?
14.
14. Okay. So yeah, no, so you don't. I will say this: you don't get the impression that she's like, "Come inside and I'll fucking get you." It's more like she's just kind of weird, and like she said, she hasn't talked to anybody in a while, so she's being a little strange. But then, you all are. So.
Gotcha.
Before we continue walking, I just say, some secrets should remain that. Do you understand and agree?
No, I was going to tell her everything and just trust her right off the bat.
Yoto almost did. I worry.
I think he was just being friendly. I think he's wise enough to keep that secret, which needs to be secret.
I am hungry.
He's a simple man.
Yes, I'm not worried about him.
I'm going to follow her. You do whatever.
Very well.
Bird just lumbers off.
Yeah, we walk in. I'm very apprehensive about everything. So if something seems off, whether it's does it look like it's a dome, or does it look like, in the sense of, did I see any of the magic go away and reform?
So as you get closer, you can see in the center of the camp there is an apparatus.
A fountain?
It is my own little fountain. It's like maybe like 6 feet tall. It looks like it used to be mostly made out of like brass, and there's some sort of like mechanical, like clock-looking components. Like there's a gear that is turning, but she had to either repair or like change it using stuff that she found out. So there's like twine holding two of the cogs together. The thing, it's turning, it's moving, but you see there's no water wheel, there's no fire creating steam, like you don't know why it is. It's just moving on its own. And then at the top, there is a globe of what looks like gossamer almost. Like it's a shimmering like sphere, and it's just turning slightly, and occasionally little trails of light will like drift off of it, and it's sitting in the center of the thing that's pulsing gently. And when you look around, you can see vaguely a distortion in the sky with the same quality, that same sort of gossamer, like glittering quality.
Okay. All right.
So that thing up there looks like the power that drives your spell. Is that accurate?
She's like long gone. She's like walked out to her house, and you're like, "Are you?" And you look down, and Peanut just looks at you like,
Oh yeah, I was probably like staring.
"Yeah,
at
right,
the thing
exactly."
like
Yeah,
a
you're looking
gape,
around.
and then I said all that stuff, and I look, and I went, "Oh well." all right."
Yeah, and
I
Peanut,
hustle up a
yeah,
little
Peanut
bit.
gives you a look like, "I don't know, I didn't cast it."
Yeah. And I pat, like I take my trunk and I pat my shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he climbs up your like leg and
Okay, cool.
climbs up onto your shoulder. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we walk in. If is she walking into a place or? Is she
Yeah,
just
she's
have,
got
like,
her
a-
little like house, which
Okay.
is like a wooden hut with like a thatched roof, and there's like a little garden next to it. Like she's flattened out the area, and you can see like stuff growing. And I think that Ramus, you notice off to one side, there is a make a perception check. I just want to see how much detail to give you,
Okay.
because you're so wise,
Very wise.
so very wise, the wisest.
20.
Nice. Okay. There's an area off to one side where the ground is like burnt, and there's some kind of stone, like it's behind the other buildings. So you can't quite make it out, but something that looks like maybe like a shrine or an altar or something, just like small, next to this burnt ground.
Okay. Gotta make note of that.
Okay. All right.
I'm writing that down in my little book.
I will remember that.
Yeah, see how Dan will, or Ramus
Yeah.
will remember that.
Yeah. So who's the first to go inside? Is it Berg? 'Cause Berg
Yeah,
is
I'm
hungry.
going in
hungry.
there.
You'll-
I'm
you'll kill
about
Bird,
food.
Okay.
Probably, yeah.
Berg's like, she
I
doesn't
was
seem
the
like
closest
she's.
to her, right?
Yeah, you were all kind of wondering, but Berg was like making a beeline, like I'm hungry.
Oh,
She mentioned
Yeah, you bet.
food. She
You bet.
didn't seem like she was openly hostile. So Berg's like, I got this. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth it to check out for food. And everyone else is talking too much, so he's just.
Yeah. Okay. So you walk in after her. There is her room. It's a single room, probably no bigger than this one, with a she does all their like cooking outside, and like there's like the fire that I was talking about, the fire pit.
Right.
But in here she has, weirdly, like this really nice, like well carved like wooden desk, like an expensive looking like wooden desk, like a mahogany desk. But it's all like caked in mud at the bottom now, and like one of the drawers is missing. And on it there are stacks of not even books, but like papers that have been tied together with like twine and like laid in like stacks of newspaper, basically all piled up on her desk, and they're all written on both sides. There are some miscellaneous kind of alchemical and magical apparati laying around, like testing equipment.
Yeah.
There's a bed off to one side, and then a smaller little, like straw pallet next to it. Yeah, and then like probably like clothes hanging on a piece of string, like drying. Yeah, and you walk in, and she turns kind of embarrassedly and shrugs, and she's like, "I haven't had guests, and well, so I'm sorry if it's."
Berg's just like, oh.
Yeah, and so she walks over to one of her like alchemical, like there's a big glass like beaker, and everything here is like scratched and patinaed and looks like it's been out in the field for a long time. And there's some kind of like clear like fluid like bubbling in this big thing, and she reaches out to get it, and then she's like pulls her hand back, and she gets like a cloth and wraps around her, and she picks it up, and she's like looking, and she's just standing there looking around.
Can I help?
And
What is that?
yeah, and then so when you say that, she's like, and she reaches over and she picks up another like glass, like an alembic or whatever, and she pours some.
And I
of this-
walk in during this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and she pours some of this stuff in, and there's like a little steam that comes off, and she holds it out to you.
Berg's like,
That is not food.
I'll take my trunk out and
A trunk comes into the shot, and she says, "A drink first, to honor new friends. I don't have a lot of." And she's like, you can see her like she's got a bowl and like other things she can put stuff in, and so she's like grabbing other stuff and like filling it.
Like Trailer Park Boys, they use like the bottom of a 2-liter. Like
Yeah,
to
right.
drink
Like
out
she doesn't
and
have a
stuff
lot
like
of
that.
like she has one bowl and one plate and one like set of chopsticks and like
Berg like lets that sit in the air, and he thinks you see Berg like go like this for a second and think back, and he's like,
I've had bad luck with strange drinks. Forgive me.
yeah. And she nods and she says, "It's just a ritual anyway. You don't have to drink. It's just a thing that people do." And so the two of you like, you come in or you stand outside?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you come
Berg's
in.
literally thinking back to the last time he had a strange drink, and
Yeah,
that
didn't
did not go.
Oh, that's right.
Well.
Yeah, you just died. Right, you think we have Petal offering you the like.
Yeah,
the
it's
deal.
like he's
Yeah.
a little post-traumatic stress going on here.
Yeah.
It's not. He's keeping it under control, but he's just thought back. He's like, maybe not.
Yeah, I give it a sniff.
Maybe
Like
someone else
I
tries it.
The trunk it back to my hand, and then my trunk like sniffs it.
Yeah,
and
make
see-
a perception check.
Okay.
And do it with advantage because you're using your smell.
Give me that bluebee. Ooh, thank God for advantage.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so I have plus 320, 20 total.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it smells like moonshine, like paint thinner. Like.
Excellent, excellent. I just down it. I know what this is.
Yeah. Okay. So you're just gonna drink it, and she's like hands you like a wooden bowl with some of this stuff in it, and hands you like a clay like cup. And she holds the bottle like, well, I guess I'm just going to drink out of the bottle. And then she turns back to you, and you've already drank yours, and it's like, oh, like it burns. It's like, it's real strong. And so she's just watching you.
And you hear this. Yeah.
And she
I
nods.
haven't had spirits that strong in quite some time. Thank you. And I reach into my pack.
Yeah.
And because I saw her like struggling, and I grab like a cup out of like my
Yeah.
explorer's
Okay.
pack, and I just like hand it to her and like here.
Right, so
for
she
whoever.
she takes the cup from you and she fills some for herself because she was just gonna drink everything.
Yeah.
She pours you another shot of it and she sets it down, and she holds it up and she says, "To new acquaintances, however strange they may be."
Ramus, you might want to avoid this, not because it's, life-threatening, but it's very, very bad. I love it personally. I want you to know that. But
It would go to waste on me anyways.
oh,
I look
yes,
at it
that's
sadly.
true.
Yeah, and she's still like kind of waiting for her to be like, "Yeah, toast," and you're like having this conversation about like.
I will have one now.
Okay, so she just hands you the bottle. It's like a big thing of this. Okay, all right. So like, does anybody not? I mean, you're not. You're just gonna kind of look at the drink like,
Yeah.
everything I've lost.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, what are you
I'll-
doing?
I'll toast.
Okay, so you like she cheers everybody and she drinks
Yeah.
and like puts the
She
cup
said to
down.
what now?
To new
New
acquaintances,
acquaintances.
however strange they may be.
Okay.
And she drinks and she sets the glass down and she says, yeah,
Again.
it's like even better the second time.
Yeah.
And so there's nowhere to sit, right? Because she doesn't have any furniture aside from like her desk. And she says, "So I know why you're here, or I have some idea, but what about the rest of you? I think you're a priest, though I've never seen garb like that, and I'm kind of an expert on these things."
It's complicated, but I was raised at the temple. I'm going to point to the Temple of the Sun.
An orphan. Interesting. And they raised you as a priest.
Yes.
But you're not garbed like a cleric of the sun.
Not anymore, no.
But you're still a priest.
I am.
It's not unheard of for people to change the arcana that they follow. Do you mind if I ask?
Go ahead.
So where do you derive your power?
It's complicated. It's very complicated. Like 199 episodes. Complicated.
You ever seen this TV show? So she's just like smiling and nodding, and she's like, "I love complicated." And what did you say your name was?
Just call me Krill.
Good, I will. And if I'm not mistaken, you're... I don't know the word for it in common. She's like really struggling, like to be like, what? I don't...
I'll say Goliath and giant.
Yeah. And she closes her eyes like, I haven't heard a word in giant. And she's like, okay, let me... And she try. I'm going to make a roll to see how well she does it. It's an intelligence roll. She's got +6. She only gets a 10. All right. It's a passing attempt. So she's like... She says something that is like a traditional greeting between tribes, but she accidentally implies that you're her mother. She just uses the wrong like tense, and it's like, yeah, she welcomes you home, Mom. It has been too long.
Yeah. In common, I just say it could use work.
And she says, I mean, I don't have a lot of practical experience in the field, though. I'll tell you about that later. And she turns and she says, I think she just turns and looks at you, and like kind of like tries to get a. Like she's just studying.
Berg sees that she's studying, and he's like,
Yeah.
as in like, I get that a lot.
Yeah, and she says, Peanut said there was something special about you. I mean, you don't have to tell me what it is, but I mean, it's clear you're no ordinary orc.
No. Good drink.
She says, I've been working on the formula. About a week ago, I made myself very, very sick. He thought I was going to die, but I didn't die. And Peanut's like, no, you didn't.
Berg's like,
That's good.
It's been a little isolating out here. I've been trying to get a meeting with... You're looking for the monastery?
It's been bothering me, but you said it's a sad tale of the Sun Temple. Why?
Well, everyone who used to live there is dead now.
Instantly, like, I whip out my scrying tools and I'm preparing a spell.
Right, so she takes a step back, like, something's going on, and she looks at you like, did I say something? Like, I don't... Was that...
No, he does this.
It takes 10 minutes cast. I'm preparing, and I'm not listening to her.
Ramus.
mute. Unmute.
Ramus. It's a bit rude to...
I have to see if he's okay. He's the only one that mattered to me there.
I hope this doesn't put you off. It's very determined to...
Yeah, no, and she's like... She's stoked about it. She's like, please, just... move whatever she wants to watch the ritual, right? Because she's just like
magic, yay.
Yeah, she wants to figure out what the hell Ramus's deal is, so she's happy to do that. Okay.
Well, is this going to be a while, Ramus?
About 10 minutes or so.
All right. In the meantime, please, what happened? If you could explain a little bit more about this.
And
the monastery and
she's
stuff.
kind of like hearing you talk, but she's like, I would rather. And she's like trying to watch Ramus like praying.
It's magic.
Yeah, she's like, I'm studying this, and actually, while she's talking, Peanut has jumped down from your shoulder and like run over to her desk and gotten her some like parchment and a quill and like run back over to her, and she just reaches out and he just like puts it in her hand. And she's like starts taking notes while Ramus is casting the spell. She's like rapt with attention.
I'm not sure if, and I don't care if she's listening to me or not, but I'm telling her like. I'm not sure if taking notes like that will even help you. He gets most of his assistance from his deity.
Yeah, she doesn't say anything, and you notice too that now Peanut is like moving around and like looking very intently at what Ramus is doing, and she's like Ramus will make a gesture and create like a sigil. In a place where she couldn't see, but Peanut is watching, and she'll sketch it on the paper. And so she just watches you as you do that.
I examine, then I just kind of wander around, like
I do the same.
not like sneakily, like
Yeah,
I'm just
like looking
at
stuff.
like bottles and that kind of stuff, and seeing if I can find something that I want.
Okay.
Berg takes another swig of the.
Yeah, the moonshine. Nice.
Once he establishes it won't kill him and it tastes pretty good, he's like, all right.
It's strong.
It's been a bit since he's had some of the drink.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it shit willy nilly or is it labeled or?
First of all, make a Constitution saving throw.
That makes sense.
Cool boy. All right. So you got a 2 plus. What's your con bonus? You know what? It's unless it's plus 9.
I don't think it's gonna matter. That is a 5.
Okay. So cool. You are now like you have one level of being drunk. You're feeling a little like tipsy. Things are kind of a little blurry, a little soft.
Yeah.
And that's cool. These two, you're gonna like casually CSI the room.
I mean, before I depart, I say I'm going to look around your room.
Yeah. She's just kind of like fine. I don't
figured
care.
as much.
Yeah, she's
Just being polite, and I like turn around and just start wandering.
Yeah, I think as long as you don't start rifling through her shit, like if you're just making a visual.
Yeah, I read the top of a book or the top page if it's a stack of pages. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm specifically looking for ingredients and to see if there's anything that gives away like what she's doing or who she is, or looking for how she made the moonshine. She said it's dangerous, so I'm guessing there might be like some like bad roots or poison or something in there.
All right, so you guys make a like one of you make an investigation check with advantage because you're both searching the same thing. You're doing the same action.
I have a +1.
No, I got a -1. It's intelligence.
I'll
So
take
you do
the
that.
roll. There we go. 18.
Okay. All right. So you guys got an 18 searching, and then Ramus, for your scrying spell, are you the only one that can see, or do you create you have like a bowl, right, and like people can look at it?
Yeah. I think people can just look into the device.
What's the name of the spell?
Scrying.
It is just scrying. Okay. Yeah, I think that's how it goes too. Let me take a look, because I think we'll probably end on you casting the ritual. And then everybody can like look over your shoulder, or you can see it.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. All right. So Ramus finishes casting the spell, and in the bowl, the font where you've poured your like supply of holy water, we see an image begin to resolve of the temple, and we will fade to break on that. And when we get back, I'll let you know what Ramus sees in the magic bowl.
Cool.
All right, great. Stick around. Yeah, lots more. 100th episode of Court of Swords when we get back.